The NBA season is well underway at this point, and there's a question on every NBA fan's mind. Are the Sacramento Kings good? The Kings haven't been back to the playoffs since May 4th of 2006, a total of 16 seasons ago. They're the sole owners of the longest playoff drought in NBA history. But could this be the season that finally ends? They've not only looked like a playoff team, they've gotten a lot of their wins in pretty dominant fashion. Led by the dynamic duo of Domantis, Sabonis, and De'Aaron Fox, the Kings have the second highest offensive rating in the league so far with 117.5. Mike Brown, who's in his first season with the team after spending the past 6 seasons with the Golden State Warriors as an assistant coach, has crafted a beautiful system predicated on unselfishness and constant ball movement, and the results are not only helping them hang with the rest of the Western Conference, but it's also just been some really fun basketball to watch. It's pretty clear how much the Warriors' offense inspired a lot of what the Kings are doing this season, which makes a ton of sense considering Mike Brown has probably been taking notes during his time with Golden State. The success of this offensive system is predicated on a couple of things: De'Aaron Fox's rim gravity and Domantis Sabonis' passing ability out of the post. If you've watched the NBA at all since he came into the league, you're well aware of why Fox's ability to collapse defenses on his drives is such an important factor. He's among the fastest players in the league, arguably the fastest, and since he possesses such incredible finishing ability, he's become one of the most lethal slashers for defenses to try and scheme for. Of all players attempting 3 or more field goals inside the restricted area, he's shooting with the 3rd best efficiency in the league at 83.3%. All the other players in that realm of efficiency are predominantly big men. Being able to finish at the rim is great, but what kind of implications does this have for Sacramento's offense? When you've got De'Aaron Fox driving, especially off of pick and rolls, the defense immediately is going to go on red alert, usually sending help from the corners. The result oftentimes leaves a wide open shot on the perimeter, and Fox is really good at making those passes and finding those guys. Even his off-ball movement has major impacts on defenses, executing this little give and go, and you can see how the defense forgets about everybody else and is now solely focused on stopping Fox, leaving Keegan Murray wide open for Fox to find him, and Murray attacks the closeout to get the bucket. When Fox and Sabonis get into this pick and roll, Looney stays towards the nail guarding Sabonis, leaving Draymond as the sole help defender in the paint if Fox decides to drive. But Barnes is going to make a cut from the paint to the corner, where Murray sets a screen for Fox to get it to Barnes in the corner for the open 3. When Fox drives on this play, not only is the Warriors defense going to collapse on him, but Barnes is also going to make a cut to the paint, drawing even more defensive attention. This leaves Murray wide open on the perimeter for Fox to feed it to him for the open shot. Now, while Fox is among the best in the league at driving and kicking, this game plan doesn't work unless you actually have the personnel to knock down the shots. There are a lot of teams that are really good at opening up shots on the perimeter from driving and kicking, but you need guys that can actually hit threes at a consistent rate for a system like this to work. Fortunately, Sacramento has that personnel. They're currently the 6th most efficient three-point shooting team in the league, while attempting the 7th most threes in the NBA. A large part of why they're able to build their offense around Fox is because of this perimeter shooting talent that they've surrounded him with. And of course, if we're going to talk about perimeter shooting ability, we've got to talk about Kevin Huerter. Right now, Huerter is averaging a career-high 16.1 points on a career-high 51% from 3 on a career-high 7.1 threes a night. There's only 2 other players in the NBA shooting 45% from 3 on that volume: Desmond Bane and Michael Porter Jr. Kevin Huerter is the only one shooting higher than 50%. Now, I know somebody watching this is already typing out their comment, 50% from 3 isn't sustainable, and eventually he's going to regress closer to his career average 39% from 3. And listen, I get it. It's early in the season, a lot of players are going to regress. But there's a big difference between starting off hot and shooting 40% from 3 and regressing back to a 34% three-point shooter, as opposed to starting off hot shooting 50% from 3 and regressing from there. I'd be pretty shocked if Huerter shot 50% from 3 on this volume for an entire season, because that would be completely unheard of, but I still think he's going to be a 45% three-point shooter pretty easily. A lot of the value that he brings to the table is built on his synergy with Domantis Sabonis. These two seem to have already developed some solid chemistry when they're operating together in a two-man setting, which is crazy considering they haven't even played 20 games together yet. Their two-man game has been so good, in fact, that Huerter is Sabonis' second favorite passing target on the Kings with 10.8 passes a night behind only De'Aaron Fox. Huerter is currently shooting 68.1% on shots off of these passes, and that includes a ridiculously high 81.5% from 3 on 2.1 attempts per night. You're going to see that these two guys will just spam the heck out of dribble handoffs, and it works really, really well. Huerter is an incredible movement shooter, and it allows him to capitalize on Sabonis' awesome screening. There's really just not a whole lot you can even do against this if you're a defense. Mike Brown does a great job from an X's and O's perspective of setting up these opportunities. Here, Fox feeds Sabonis near the elbow. Huerter sets a screen for Barnes to cut to the paint, pulling his defender inside. Huerter then flares to the top of the key to receive a screen from Fox, then turning and receiving another screen from Sabonis to get into the shot, which he's going to knock down. When teams overcommit to defending the three, Huerter is also such a good cutter that he's able to just cut to the paint to get the ball in stride to finish at the rim. I don't know the numbers for their two-man game or even where I would find them, but they've got to be among the most effective two-man games in the entire NBA right now. It's just a match made in heaven, and one of the reasons that Sacramento has managed to craft such an insanely potent offense. Real quick, guys, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Underdog Fantasy. With Underdog's NBA Pick'em, they make it super simple to win big. They've got individual player props to pick from for every single NBA game. All you have to do is pick higher or lower, and once you have your slip, make your wager and submit. You can make wagers for as low as $1 and win anywhere from 3 times your money all the way up to 20 times your money. And now with Pick'em Insurance, you can still win money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Sign up using code AlexHoops with the link in the description today, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Be sure to play responsibly, and thanks again to Underdog for sponsoring today's video. Now, I want to zero in on Sabonis a little bit because, like I mentioned earlier, his passing ability out of the post is a huge cog in the machine that makes their offense function at such a high level. Sabonis is able to bait teams into guarding his post-ups while everyone else is moving off ball, like here where he finds Murray on a cut to the basket for an easy finish. Huerter's feed here forces Looney to come help Klay, leaving Draymond guarding Huerter up top. Once the defense commits to Sabonis, he finds Fox for the easy catch-and-shoot 3. Same situation here, Murray gets him the entry pass, and when Looney comes to provide help, it leaves Keegan Murray wide open for the easy shot. If you don't double him, he's going to score. If you do double him, not only can he still score, but you're liable to give up wide open threes. Opposing teams just have to pick their poison because either way, Sacramento is going to get a good shot one way or another. Their whole offense is built around generating good looks from deep or at the rim. With so many fantastic cutters to work with, they're really tough to slow down, and you need an incredibly disciplined defense to have any chance of stopping them. Their insane cutting top to bottom has resulted in them averaging the second most points per possession on shots off of cuts in the entire league. Fox brings the ball up, and Huerter makes a backdoor cut for Fox to find him. Huerter then drives baseline before feeding it to Sabonis for the finish. They run this down screen in the corner, allowing Murray to curl off of it with Fox finding him in stride to finish at the rim. This team is so clearly bought in, and their acquisition of Malik Monk provided a reliable guy to run the bench unit. Their bench has been so good that they're averaging the second most bench points in the NBA with 42.8 a night, and they have the third most efficient bench, shooting 48.2% a night. Whatever this team lacks on defense, they make up for it on the offensive end. They have a really modern approach to their offense, and paired with the personnel all working really well together, it makes me pretty confident that this is the year the Kings finally end their playoff drought. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. That's the best way to support me and help me continue making content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.